Good morning, dear BSc Agriculture 4th semester student. Today I will take the class of Production Technology of Carnation. You must have heard the known flower crop, that is carnation. It is the most popular commercial cut flower in the world, which ranks next to the rose in commercial importance. Rose, carnation, and chrysanthemum. These three cut flower share the 50% market in the world cut flower trade. This carnation word is made from the Greek word dianthus, and it is also called divine flower. Carnation has originated in France and it is a national flower of Spain. The basic chromosome number of dianthus is 15. Dianthus is the genus of carnation and it belongs to the family Caryophyllaceae. Uses of carnation. Carnation is mostly grown as a cut flower. Other than this, it is also grown as bedding plant, pot plant, border, aging, indoor and rock garden. It is also a source of volatile oil and it contains 40% benzyl benzoate. If you want to extract oil from the carnation, 500 kg of flour is required for the extraction of 100 gram of oil. Besides this, carnation is used as a potpourri, scented sachets and cosmetic products. The carnation flower is preferred than the other flower because there are many reasons which makes it a beautiful cut flower after rose. That is the excellent keeping quality. Vast life of carnation is very good, and a wide range of colors, that is white, pink, orange, red, these all colors are available in carnation, and the weight of this carnation flower is very low. So a greater amount of quantity of flowers can be accommodated and transported to the distant market, and it rehydrates very easily. There are mainly four types of carnation. First one is marguerite carnation, second one is border, third malmaison, and fourth is perpetual. As you have to study the cut flower in your courses, so this perpetual carnation is mainly grown as a cut flower. Under perpetual carnation, two types of carnation are grown, that is standard and spray. Standard carnation is that type of carnation flower which have a larger stem and a single flower on a single long stalk. But in the spray type, more number of flower on a single stem is found. That you can say small size bloom with shorter stem in bunches. Sandy loam soil is most suitable for the carnation, and which have the organic matter content 5.5 to 6.5. Optimum day temperature requirement is 18 to 24 degrees Celsius and night temperature is 10 to 11 degrees Celsius during winter and 13 to 15.5 degrees Celsius in summer. Carnation is a quantitative long day plant. That is, long photo period usually promotes flowering, while short day tends to delay it. So flower quality can be improved by providing long day, and the best quality flower can be produced in greenhouse or polyhouse when the CO2 concentration is maintained at 500 to 750 ppm. Carnation is propagated by both vegetative and seed. Seed propagation is normally practiced in marguerite type of carnation, and the commercially, as you know, I told that perpetual carnation is grown in polyhouse for the commercial purpose. So it is commercially propagated by the terminal cutting. In this method, 10 to 15 centimeter terminal cutting with 4 to 5 pair of leaves are harvested for the multiplication purpose. Nowadays, micropropagation technique is also being popular for the large scale multiplication and to get the disease-free quality planting material. This is the figure showing you the bed preparation. It means that just after the bed preparation for the in polyhouse, mainly the drip irrigation system is followed. So you can see here that the drip system, drippers are there. And so along at this time only that dripper that you have to netting is also done along with the drip irrigation system establishment. Netting is an important in cultural practices that is followed in the Carnation that I will be dealing later on. Planting time. Planting time is chosen depending on the market demand. So planting during just after every 3 to 4 months is advisable to ensure regular supply of water. As I told just now, that is before planting, drip lines and support netting are to be laid out. And if you want to plant it into 6-row planting, 15 into 15 centimeters spacing is required. And if you have to plant it in 4-row planting, 15 into 15 centimeter spacing is required. Irrigation system in polyhouse, mainly the drip irrigation system is followed for the carnation cultivation. And according to the temperature and light intensity, you have to give the irrigation. So mainly the carnation requires the 4 to 5 liter of water per meter square per day. And stagnation of water must be avoided to minimize the disease incidence. Weed management. Weed management is equally important in carnations. Generally, the manual weeding is done. Otherwise, you can go for the chemical weedicide. These are the fertilizer application that we follow in carnation during the bed preparation. A basal fertilizer dose of single superphosphate, that is 200 gram per meter square. Potassium sulfate at the rate of 150 gram per meter square. Magnesium sulfate at the rate of 50 gram per meter square, and borax at the rate of 2 gram per meter square should be evenly spread and thoroughly mixed with the media before bed preparation. This is the table showing you how you have to go for the fertilizer application till bud formation and then bud formation to harvest. Just go through this table. These are the important intercultural operation that is followed in carnation, that is training, or you can say netting. In this figure also you can see the netting of the carnation. Carnation netting, generally 4 layer of netting is done. The first layer that I had shown you in the figure, that is done at the spacing of 7.5 centimeter to 7.5 centimeter. Then second layer is given at 10 to 10 centimeter. Third is 12.5 into 12.5 centimeter. 15 into 15 centimeter. The fourth layer is given. You have to increase the spacing at the each layer of netting, because as the plant grows, the branches emerge and the area increase. So you have to increase the area of the netting. That's why we are increasing the area of the netting. Now the second important intercultural operation that is followed is pinching. Pinching, you must be knowing, that is removal of the apical shoot or apical portion of the plant. Pinching is done to overcome the apical dominance and to promote the initiation of side branches. So mainly 3 type of pinching is adopted in carnation, that is single pinch, pinch and half, and double pinch. You can see in the figure that is pinching is followed. In double pinching method, the main shoot is pinched once, followed by pinching of all the lateral shoot arising from the first pinch. When these are about 6 to 8 centimeter long or develop 5 to 6 pair of leaves. It delays the flowering and it is not generally practiced. Another special intercultural operation that is followed is de-shooting. De-shooting, unwanted secondary shoot or on the flowering stem are removed when they are about 2 to 3 centimeter long. And in disc budding, it is practiced in standard display or miniature carnation. In a standard carnation, disc budding is preferred. Why disc budding is done? Because to get the good quality flower. When you remove the axillary or lateral bud just after appearance, you have to remove just after appearance without damaging the leaves and stems. In the standard carnation and in spray or miniature carnation, the main flower bud is removed to encourage the lateral flower bud. Means in standard carnation, lateral buds are removed, and in spray carnation, the main flower bud or terminal bud is removed. Calyx banding. Calyx banding is an important physiological disorder in carnation. It mostly affects the flower quality. So to prevent from this calyx splitting, generally calyx banding is done. During calyx banding, what we do that we place a rubber band or plastic tape around the calyx of the flower bud when it just begins to open. Harvesting. Most of the carnation varieties will be ready for harvesting in about 120 days after planting. Some early varieties are also available, which is harvested to 95 to 100 days after planting. In a standard type, spent brush stage is ideal stage for the harvesting of the carnation, and in the spray type, when two flowers are open and the remaining flower buds show color, that is the ideal stage of harvest of carnation. In a standard carnation, 200 to 350 flowers per meter square is obtained, and in spray 250 flowers per meter square is obtained. Post-harvest treatment. After harvest of the flower, citric acid is generally added to the water and then sodium hypochlorite is added to it to improve the vast life of carnation. And these flowers can be stored for 2 to 4 weeks before marketing. So when you are going for the packaging of this carnation, the cartoon must have the sufficient vent hose. This applies to all the flowers that we have to transport it. And this cartoon should be stored at a temperature 0 degrees Celsius with a good air circulation and relative humidity 90 to 95%. These are the popular international grade of cut flower carnation. And in international flower market, generally the three types grade of carnation is that is blue, red, and green. So go through this table. I have summarized the production technology of carnation in this way, that is the soil preparation, soil fumigation, bed preparation, rooted cutting, planting, pinching, netting, disc budding, then fertigation, harvesting stage, harvesting, stripping, bunching, packing, and packaging. Now the physiological disorder of carnation, like any other flower crop, carnation also suffers from a number of physiological disorder. That is, first one is calyx splitting, slippiness, grassiness, slab side, calyx tip dieback, and internode splitting. In this physiological disorder, calyx splitting and slippiness is the most important one, which improves the quality of the flower. Calyx splitting is an important physiological disorder of carnation because it is caused by a number of factors, that is genetic, environmental, nutritional, and other cultural practices. In this method, why the calyx splitting happens? When the temperature goes below the 10 degrees Celsius, an extra hole of petals develop inside the calyx. So when the extra hole of calyx develops, this extra hole of petals is that calyx becomes unable to hold that extra hollow petals and the calyx splits. So nutritional makeup of the plant also influence this calyx splitting when low nitrogen and high ammonium nitrogen or low boron level enhance the calyx splitting. Closer spacing has also been reported to encourage the calyx splitting. So to control from this, as I told earlier, that rubber banding is practiced. Along with this, selection of cultivar is also important, and a good fertilizer, that is the optimum level of nitrogen and boron you have to provide. This is the figure showing you the calyx splitting. You see in the figure, this is the calyx split due to the formation of extra hole of petals. Slippiness. Slippiness is the another important physiological disorder of carnation. It generally occurs after harvesting of the flowers. In this method, in this physiological disorder, that it mainly occurs due to the exposure of flower to ethylene or water stress. Incidence of slippiness has been found to be higher when flowers are stored for a longer period or when they are exposed to high temperature. So just before harvesting, you spray the STS silver thiosulfate at the rate of 0.4 millimole before harvesting. That will correct the disorder. This is the grassiness. Grassiness is the physiological disorder when the plants becomes unable to produce the flower, and in slab side, uneven opening of the flower bud occurs. In calyx tip dieback, it occurs due to the potassium deficiency and water stress. And the internode splitting occurs due to the boron deficiency. Tinting. Tinting is the process of coloring of white carnation. So, a concentrated liquid or powder color is mixed in a small amount of warm, pure water to color the white carnation. After 10 to 14, 24 hours, color develops in different pattern as the color you provide in the wash solution. These are the different varieties of the carnation under the standard cultivar and spray cultivar. Go through this table. This is the variety of the carnation, like pink tona, tundra, white tundra, liberty. So along with the physiological disorder, carnation is also affected by the insect pest and disease. Red spider mite, aphid, thrips, bud borer, cutworm, nematodes are the disease. In this, red spider mite, aphids are the important and an important disease of carnation, fusarium wilt, alternaria, leaf spot, bacterial wilt, bud rot, rust, gray mold, stem and root rot, fairy ring disease. What is important? So these are the important disease of carnation. Under this, fusarium wilt and gray mold is mostly noticed. So red spider mite is the most serious disease in carnation, which affect the plant. Plant becomes stunted and distorted, affects the quality and past life decrease. So to prevent from this, proper ventilation and watering are required, and spray of the Glycophol or vegetable sulfur also helps in the prevention of this disease. Otherwise, you can go for the biological control by predatory mat, Phytocillus persimilis, which has been found to be effective against mites. Aphid and thrips also affect the carnation. Aphid sucks the leaves, and thrips also suck the leaves and cause them to turn yellow. Next one is bud borer. It mostly affect the flower bud, and characteristic round hole in bud and flower heads. One can notice these infected buds fails to open. Fusarium wilt. Fusarium wilt is one of the serious diseases of carnation, and the plant become wilted. Rotting of stem below the ground level occurs, and to control from this disease, soil sterilization is practiced or use of pathogen-free planting material is done. sanitization is required. A biological control with Bacillus subtilis. These are the number of biological agents that you can use for the prevention from the Fusarium wilt. This is the figure showing your Fusarium wilt infected plant of Carnation. Another disease that is affected by Carnation is the Alternaria leaf spot and gray mold. Gray mold is the storage disease that affects the petals. Thank you. So I have completed today the Carnation production technology of Carnation. Thank you.